Hey guys! Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to do a slip knot and how to begin your chain stitch, which are two things that you're going to absolutely need to know to start learning to crochet. A slip knot starts the beginning of every project unless you're using a magic circle, which is a whole nother thing entirely. And I have only used a magic circle, I think, like one time, and it gets a little messy for me. So I usually stick to a slip knot. Say that 3 times fast. And because it works out better for me. In most projects that you do a magic circle with, you can almost always substitute for slip knot. Okay, so a slip knot starts like this. You're going to hold your yarn like this, wrap it around your finger, your index finger, wrap it around your index finger again. You're going to take the longest piece, pull it over your index finger, wrap it around again, take the second loop on your finger and pull it through the first loop on your finger, and that is a slip knot. You'll just insert your hook and then you'll pull on your longest piece, and that should tighten it up for you to begin to crochet. If you need to know how to do that again, do closer look at it. And the beauty of a slip knot is you can just pull it and it comes undone. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn, short piece facing outward, wrap it around your finger twice. The longest piece comes over your finger. And you're going to pull the second loop. That one was a little messy. Sorry about that, guys. Okay? Then if you pull your longest strand, it'll tighten up on to your hook. Alright, so that's how we do a slip knot. There are several variations of slip knot. Everybody does a slip knot their own way. That's just the way that I prefer to do my slip knot. Like I said, there are just too many ways to do it. Okay, so first things first. Holding your hook and your yarn at the same time. As you can see, this is how I hold my hook and my yarn at the same time. Everybody holds their hook and their yarn differently. There is no set way. There is no wrong way to hold your hook and your yarn. It's just whatever way makes you feel comfortable. And this way makes me feel comfortable. I've seen women hold their hooks like this, like this, like this. So it really doesn't matter. I've seen people hold them like a pencil. It's just whichever way feels comfortable to you. So that's what you want to work on. That's something that, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And then it'll always feel awkward at first, and then once you get the hang of it, then you'll realize that that was your way to hold it. How I hold it is, I've told you how I hold my hook. I just hold it with my thumb on the flat part of the hook, my index finger on the back side of the flat part of the hook. I usually hold whatever piece that I'm trying to work on at the time with my middle finger and my thumb. And then I have the yarn wrapped around my index finger, back behind my index finger, over my middle finger, and it's usually gripped by my pinky. Sounds complicated, but it works for me. Okay, so to make a chain stitch, you already have your slip knot. Now your slip knot never counts as your first stitch. So if you have a project that requires 50 chain stitches, this is not your first stitch. This would be your first stitch. Okay, now you've made it into a stitch. So, and that was a chain stitch. So, a chain stitch is very, very simple. All it is you are going to go under, over, and pull through. Again, it's under, over, pull through, under, over, pull through, under, over, pull through, until you start to get what looks like a little chain. Okay? Different projects require different amounts of chains. Some freestyle projects, it doesn't matter how many chains you have. Some projects are very specific in the amount of chains, but a chain is definitely a must, and you have to know how to do a chain stitch. So, to go back over it again, it's literally under, over, and through, under, over, and through, under, over, and through. And that is how you do a chain stitch. Now, if your chain stitch is really, really, really tight, don't worry. If it's really, really, really loose, don't worry. It's all about getting used to just doing the stitch. Once you learn how to hold your yarn, hold your hook, and stitch at the same time, your stitches will become more uniform, and then they'll start to look more of the way that you intend for them to look. When I first started, my chain stitches were like huge, but that's just what I had to learn, and that's what you'll have to learn, just how to get comfortable. And practicing the chain stitch over and over is a very good way on learning how to get comfortable. So that, boys and girls, is a chain stitch. Pretty simple. So one more time. Under, over, under, over, through, under, over, through. Okay? So hopefully you've completed this. Hopefully it looks a little bit something like this. Don't freak out if it doesn't. It's going to take some time for you to get used to, but this is generally what it should look like. If you have any questions, just post them below and I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. And so now we're going to move on to the next part of our tutorial, which is going to be to learn how to do a single crochet. Thanks, guys.